Kuzangpo and a very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program. I'm Tandin Finso. Our top stories this week: His Majesty the King granted an audience to the Drangpins who are currently undergoing Lekshinao Dampa training in the capital yesterday. The National Assembly question-answer session saw a heated exchange among members of the Parliament last Friday. And the National Council members say political corruption might undermine democracy. His Majesty the King granted an audience to 31 Drangpins who are currently undergoing Lekshinao Dampa training in the capital yesterday. Her Royal Highness Princess Sonamdechin Wangchuk was also present as the President of Bhutan National Legal Institute. The Drangpins include Supreme Court and High Court justices and others. This is the fifth batch attending the Lekshinao Dampa training, which began on 3rd September and ends in October. The training for the judicial personnel was funded by Swiss Development Cooperation and Austrian Development Agency. The question-answer session of the National Assembly last Friday focused on the pledges made by the People's Democratic Party. The session, which became quite heated in moments, saw members of the Parliament going back and forth on the pledges of the new government.
One of the questions asked was about the PDP government reducing a ministerial post. Panbang's Member of Parliament asked Lenchen to explain why PDP did not keep its promise of reducing a portfolio.
lembogi jangkhadi mafab benigi jenla te lenkhachi gi ginkhurdi mijilenchingi tep khoragi namnibe te khalang yuisi junila debadalu khalangdi ngema te debeze te daribadalu majere shungdi shisu bedalu te lenkhagi jangkhaberu lembogi jangkhaberu ngema rupinson spe kablu shisu bemigi te jangkhachu thamdira imbe tani bedalu tadi nyamagi khalanda derigi khalangi banalu te ngachigi tawachin te sosobe yasis shunila
gigulu lenchingi lenshuni khalangi 된다 ngomadi 가시모서 와진 융기 세도마 팝다니기 세슈니 렘보 탭지께다 와진 세도야 탭중 노디베 데메시 마스 속보이 켈랑 아니 벼보이 된다 ngomadi라 아니 세슈니 튀미다 렘보기 바나 니포기 다 튀 가라치 쳄들루 에와둘라 에와디 카데베 옆모세와친 튀무기 마메 세슈니라 렘보기 세도월레 튀미기 맘베 찌쳄들루 아네베 템메 세슈니 아니 베올레 텐디기베 나라기 냠롭수기 세도 마팝다니기 베와친 튀미 탭치 쳄볼레 마체 랭카기 렘보 랭카레레루 렘포레레 케우타세 아네베 ngalu laple tendigibe anebe tachi chebing seshuni.
There were several other issues raised, including the pay revision promised by the PDP government. After some time, the Speaker had to even remind members of Parliament to ask direct questions and to provide direct answers. The question and answer session is held every Tuesday and Friday. Tenzin Rabki, BBS
News. Political corruption needs to be addressed immediately, otherwise it will weaken the very essence of democracy. This was the concern raised by the National Council members on Wednesday. The discussion came up while discussing the Anti-Corruption Report 2012, which reflects a few cases related to political corruption.
Discussions began after the chairman of the Good Governance Committee made a brief presentation on the report. The report shows that the maximum number of complaints, 30% of the total, is on resources, followed by corruption in land, which is over 15%. ACC received the highest number of corruption-related complaints from Thimphu Dzongkhag. While discussing corruption in land, some members pointed out that there must be flaws in the implementation of laws by related agencies, which allow such corruption to happen. Members also said misuse of government land is happening across the country and investigation must be carried out in all cases to reduce land corruption.
Tetinalo dajugi konile kadam indi bese chirede tijib onjin bedi bese chiredela dajugi konglu charo betolela jungi sadi tumenbe gergi chamgu kadebe jajemna te dajugi tinol kong charo bera besusishunila
탐트란사 종합 케이치기 가라 구좀마수로 때가지라 팀부 종합 좀 집에 때다시나 팀비기 슈에슈데스 슈닐라 때다 조 닐레 사찰레티 닐레 bom쇼디 팀부 종합나 템메세 거기나 데베 슈에슈데 디벌레 텐데 가라 카톨레베로 때다 럽주마진 때다 해마라 톰데굴레베 구초시나 때장다가 마제다 람토토 야치기 순나라마 답데오바디오 닐레기 디수 가데베요가 닌주치 로수베 닐레카담기 카톨레베로다 지지본징기 카톨레베로다 디수 제수바진 때다 가장아 또 롱인 칸기 갑로에 슈이 때다 리링이 치스나스 잡디기베 때다 십제마베와 때 가라 털친베 가라 마투투베 지다바진 때때 개합디나로 가토토 기톤토 때다 지오 유비베로 주 카세곱디 개체
Bhutan MP Nima shared that ACC must be given full support to help stop the misuse of government land.
Ta tansha te ta ngache nyele kadam nalu tilu chila pewdelu chisin chugi nyele kadam gi chisin gi te usumidi te khoma nyele kadam gi hondele chala na me smi minuk da jedi ki be chala na te kaira na sa be sawi gi shulu te chimgana hibi galen chimdi chungu ji tab be gale te midi te yangsha tang be galen te tab madu chi dinale तेरो कायरा नाम समिचा की बेमी की लादिलु न्यूली मेप्सुम्बे आने बे जोमे समिची सुमसंगारे की कोई ताने बोदलु तिदिलु ngara khatule beru त्याचे ची ngachira timdi modu be yudro ju bewachin timdira jinji sochina be tete bewachin teta dilue ngara ki hondele te timlia te modu bachin te charshi beni euro chinen jeni euro te disue jego pe te japchur yu.
The complaints on land were on illegal transfer of land, abuse of functions by land administration officials and local leaders, and encroachment into government land, among others. The House has decided to review the performance audit report and continue discussion on land issues only in their next session. Sharab Sangmo for BBS News.
Are mining activities carried out as per legal provisions and procedures, or is there a conflict between laws? This was one of the main discussions at the National Council last Friday.
The discussion on mining activities was a follow-up from the 10th session of the first National Council, which broadly covered the three issues of mining areas, the impact of mining activities, and centralization of mines. The legality of banning mining activities saw prolonged deliberation in the House, with most members noting a conflict in legislation.
고톰고미기 내된데 카자카님 나셔라 경소대기 플래너리 세션 헨슈디나루 숭대 줌병달루 사들 레쿵기 고펜기 카톨레 배워신 데디 공기 남에스메 세리리베 깨나데 공기 고가 가데베 렌디가 고가 가데베 다즈주조 예가 리수기 더치에 갈로 톱치 데보다 종학 속대날레 나와 미디기 베로 공기 제탑 예비기 슈아치에 야루 수나이 세슈니라 다니 베니디기 다링아체라기 다 팀디 나테 도도지 배워진 팀나루 다 아치치 고알렌탕기 개발 야소비나 팀디기 베 아치치 원세 기 고라 마로 야소비나 링아기 도토 슌다베 팀드수 제디기 따우돌로 고알렌 마수바 유비
두기 차팀 팀도 팀도 같이 두고 세워진 사들기 주노디서 가르 두비미서 천님도로 유비세도 원세 가라 단념베 고갑에 톱보세 때데바돌로 다도 람루디 데베 멤네 텐데게베 테케게데 미두베소노 데베 가지기 람루디 주주베니비 때냐마기 팀도 조사누 냐마 베미수루 베디그라 베추세미디 디디 니셈 카마밥 디 미두스 주니비라 타날파가 제기 팀 레지메 주치베고 네당데 티디베 데 주체데 티디게베 라렌네지메 탑고 티미망도 펜토베기 차라딩가 제세기 조 땡고스 주니비라
Tewa chudelu male lakir nanduzum nawananduzum ma misulu chi tawrochi bashi ma tindumi disukara wansedi ya tewali induzumigi te koa debe lendigi be du guthumdigi be anigi panalu te tudiramem habi misetsugi nyema subrochi bawashin tatu phalu te tirichi te kachulu nezamigi richigi nalu ha wansegi yugi bolokal hyukagi thomgi bolokalu te analu tudiramem te tim phadasu lejime hisasa meble tendigi be te dinalu te satir khachi sunira be sishunila
danga chiregi timdi le jumbera jebajin da satirgi chala gachira indi beschire zotungi la indi beschire legulgi chala gachira na di beschire digi upade masani junalu da kydiedu dilungachi somangi khatule japchurdi piko bera duzi junila.
The legal conflicts were on provisions under both the Mines and Mineral Management Act 1995 and the Local Government Act 2009, which allow the government and the Dzongkhag Tsogdu the right to ban mining activities respectively. A case study was shared concerning the Department of Geology and Mines and the Samtsi Dzongkhag Tsogdu to highlight the conflict. The Natural Resources and Environment Committee, after the discussion, recommended to the Legislative Committee a thorough review of all relevant laws and to submit their findings to the House. Sonofonso from PBS News.
Thimpusechu this year was indeed a special occasion for a group of 15 children. These children are from Lunana. For them, it was their first time visiting Thimpu or witnessing Thimpusechu.
These children are the recipients of His Majesty the King's Kidu project. All of them are from Lunana. They are studying in Genekha Lower Secondary School and are living in the hostel. Most of their schoolmates have gone home for the Sechu holiday. They were left behind as their homes are far away. To their delight, the Tongsa Penlop Tsindrul Tsokpa decided to organize an outing for these children. The Tsokpa was founded in 2012. Its members are the alumni of the Tongsa Penlop Scholarship. 13-year-old Rinchin Chodin is the oldest in the group. She studies in class 7. She loves geography and wants to become a veterinarian. This is probably because she loves animals.
In Thimphu, there's many people and many cars around us, and in Lunana, there's no vehicles and no people. And also I can see that in Lunana there is no computer facilities and internet facilities, and from that when I came to Thimphu I learned many new things.
Sangye Nidup is the youngest boy in the group. His favorite sport is football and he loves math because it's easy. Chodin is the youngest girl. She is in class 3. She couldn't go back home for the vacation because Lunana is too far. She said she will be going home only during the winter break. Yishe Doji is in class 7. He enjoys studying Dzongkha and playing football. He wants to be a doctor as well. The children spent the rest of their day at the Tsechu. They also had lunch with the members of the Tongsa Penlop Tsindrul Tsokpa. Probably the Tsokpa they will be members of when they grow up. Tenzin Rapti, BBS News.
Until August this year, the indigenous unit in Gilifu Central Regional Referral Hospital saw a maximum of 400 patients a month. But last month saw a record increase in the number of patients. 2,300 patients visited the unit. In the following report, Shori Gurung finds out why there was a sudden increase.
Usually, the indigenous unit in the Gilifu Central Regional Referral Hospital sees between 10 and 15 patients per day. Beginning last month, there has been a sudden increase in the number of patients availing themselves of the indigenous unit's services. Today, the unit gets between 70 to 80 patients a day, thanks to the awareness campaign that the Drungso of the unit have embarked on. They have been visiting schools in the Dzongkha creating awareness. Yesterday, they visited the Nobling Middle Secondary School.
The main objective, we target the schools, they being the beloved ones and they being the educated level, educated lots. If we share all those information, if we share those correct and important information to those students and teachers, so I believe that they do have a direct impact with the overall society. If we share those messages to them, then those messages will be later disseminated in the society.
Students showed a lot of interest asking questions, ranging from sustainability to whether the indigenous medicine can cure diseases like cancer and heart disease. They were also curious to know why the medicinal herbs are only collected from high altitude and not the southern belt. Students felt such initiative of the indigenous unit was not only informative but beneficial as well.
After this presentation that the doctors here gave, I'm sure me, myself and all my friends, we gained a lot of knowledge, and we enjoyed the presentation, and we were very pleased to hear the invitation from the doctors to visit their hospital anytime, and they also made sure that if we came in our school uniform and visited their hospital, they would give special attention to us.
I thought that this traditional medicine is much better, better than that what we get from shop. And just also I heard that medicine that we get from shop is much less important, but compared to this medicine, traditional medicine, we came to know that this medicine, traditional medicine, is very good for health.
With more and more people becoming aware of the indigenous unit, the Dungsos are hopeful of further improving healthcare in Gelefu by offering an option to the patients. Shauri Gurung, BBS News, Gelefu.
His Holiness the J. Khenpo made 2 appointments in the Jung Drasang on the 15th of this month. 48-year-old Khenpo Ugen Namgyal from Kurte has been appointed the Letsok Drungchen, or Secretary of State Development of the Jung Drasang, and Khenpo Sonam Bumden from Tongsa the Tsula Drungchen, or Secretary of Education of the Jung Drasang. Khenpo Ugen Namgyal has a master's degree in Indian philosophy and religion from Banaras Hindu University and has travelled widely as an international coordinator and interpreter, and even given a series of Buddhist lectures. 40-year-old Khenpo Sonam Bumden has a master's degree in religious studies and contemplative world religions from Naropa University in the US. Khenpo Sonam has been a Dharma teacher at the Kailua Sambala Center in Hawaii, and prior to his new appointment was the Director of Research and Library of the Jung Drasang. The recruitment and retention of good professionals continue to be a challenge for the Anti-Corruption Commission. Officials from the Commission say this has impeded their fight against corruption. These challenges were highlighted when the Ethics and Credential Committee of the National Assembly presented the ACC's annual report at the Parliament this week.
One of the main issues they discussed in the National Assembly last Thursday was the need to delink the Anti-Corruption Commission from the Royal Civil Service Commission. One of the commissioners, Kesang Jamso, explains the need for the ACC to delink from the RCSA.
The commission is independent. The people working in ACC are under the RCSC. So how will we investigate it? There is a corruption case in RCSC. That is a possible scenario in the future. So delinking aims at making ACC an independent authority in terms of human resources management, so that it can perform its check and balance function much better.
Besides, the Commission is also looking at having financial autonomy in order to perform in an independent and effective manner.
Investigation is a very specialized job. We just can't pick someone and put him into investigation. So we need experience and people with background knowledge on investigation. But we do not get it. We have so many senior positions, vacancies which were announced, but no one is coming.
The Commissioner added that many graduates leave after working for 3 years, and the only way to retain them is through attractive remuneration and service conditions. The ACC annual report this year highlighted corruption in the recruitment and selection procedure as well.
In our report this year, the focus is on corruption in recruitment. And RCSC is not the sole agency in recruiting, so many agencies recruit. So every year we have a system, we point out one specific problem in corruption, and this year it was the recruitment, and I think it got mixed up with our delinking and all. So in our report, we have said that nepotism and favoritism in recruitment is a big challenge. So as a report, it is there to highlight a very prominent problem. So it is one of the problems that we have highlighted this year, and I think you mixed it up with a problem of the news that I was watching indicated that RCSA has messed up in the whole recruitment system, which is not true. And why we wrote this report is we want the recruitment system as a whole to be improved.
A corruption risk assessment of recruitment and selection identifies risks such as the manipulation of selection procedures, non-declaration of conflict of interest, leakage of information to favored candidates during tests and interviews, are among others. The Commission is of the view that this has undermined the recruitment and selection of good people. Pamatsuki for BBS News.
The education sector receives the highest budget of over 6 billion Nultram for the financial year 2013 to 2014. This was revealed at the National Assembly recently while presenting the national budget by the Finance Minister.
The total expenditure outlay for the financial year 2013 to 2014 is estimated at 34.2 billion Nultram. Going by the sector-wise, education saw the highest budget allocation of over 6.7 billion Nultram. The amount will be spent for expansion of educational infrastructure and establishing integrated special education centers for the special needs, among others. During the financial year, about 950 scholarships will be provided to pursue higher education both within and outside Bhutan. Similarly, more than 4.1 billion Nultram is being allocated for the agriculture sector, followed by road with over 3.4 billion Nultram. The report also saw difference in proposed and recommended budget to some of the institutions. The major discrepancy is seen in the budget allocation of Election Commission. A budget of nearly 400 million Nultram was proposed by the ECB, but the recommended budget was only over 40 million. While the Anti-Corruption Commission's recommended budget was increased to 99 million Nultram, however, actual proposed was only 51 million Nultram. Having prepared the budget, the government was also questioned by the opposition party for not incorporating some of their pledges. These are salary revision, unemployment allowances and blacktopping of the existing geog roads. The opposition also questioned about the budget report for not having proper guidelines for the implementation of 5 billion Nultram worth economic stimulus plan. Meanwhile, some of the members also appealed to pass the budget soon as it has hampered functioning of local government and other institutions. Pemasuki for BBS News.
The members of the National Assembly unanimously passed the national budget for the financial year 2013-2014. A supplementary budget bill was also passed on the 17th of this month.
Before the budget was passed, the government was questioned by the opposition for not having allocated budget for the fulfillment of the pledges made by the government, which is time-bound. This includes provision for the pay revision, doing away with the taxes for small and rural businesses, allowances for the senior citizens and students subsidized loans, among others. The member of the parliament from the Bertsam Shongfu constituency said, given the pledges, the government should take that into consideration.
We didn't expect the entire pledges to be reflected in this budget because obviously there is time, 5 years more. But at least the pledges that have been made for stating that it will be done within the first 100 days, we looked into that, seeing whether they have been included or not. Some, there are good reasons saying why they couldn't include. For example, the pay revision, that is a pay commission has to be established. So that will take time. Nevertheless, how much has to be increased should have been actually included in the budget.
Responding to it, the government said they have been in power for only 7 weeks. They said the government needs time to work on the fulfillment of the pledges.
디보달로 켈랑기 미글디 보아진 자첼라 자차 합배 두브니기 레와 유에세슈니
디 켈랑디 카체 디 켈랑디기 미세 가데베 페메가 디 레짐베 에집잡니디 남세미 카체 세슈니라
슝기 카들레 켈랑세다 베이세 가라 인지 미지 롱안으로 두고세 벼다야 소에 토신난고 세슈니 마지기디 켈랑세다 두소 땡아지라기 베게 짜게시라 데 미슬로 피빙이 세슈니라 이루 켈랑세다 두수 가라 둡달루 ngacharam dumi yonglo misi duslo maung boshi duslo tabdew madu thindi dusya thuka nangmudi kanawa khachi se shunila.
I as an individual, not looking from the political view, I definitely have to look for the objectives of the pledges. We should not be forgetting about the current economic situation. If we really look into, then we need to prioritize our pledges, but at the same time, we need to fulfill the pledges within the 5 years of the PDP government.
Meanwhile, the government was also questioned for not having concrete measures in place to address the increasing debt and rupee shortage, low budget allocation for the Ministry of Labour and Human Resources to solve unemployment issues. The government was also questioned for having required to contribute 10% from the government's resources for all the GOI projects, among others. Pemasuki for BBS News.
Corruption related to land is the second highest form of corruption next to corruption in resources. This has been reflected in the Anti-Corruption Commission Report 2012, which was deliberated in the National Council on Tuesday.
Presenting the Anti-Corruption Report 2012 for discussion, corruption in politics saw a lengthy deliberation. The Good Governance Committee urged the Council for a need to assess on the risks that the country is exposed to due to political corruption. The committee also said there is a need to identify appropriate measures to stop corruption in politics. Most of the members said the Election Act should be implemented strictly.
Lotedida Ishikadebe Juni Nasa Dokpangarolo, Chabimes Shunila. The Dizumbe Mong Balu, the Rimba Shindube, Nacheki Saktuki Jawarimba de Sula, Beira Jogobni Digi, Ngelegi Ladi Dari Sab Timdarangachiki, Yangogda, Kagdam Mabu Dochbachin, the Mong Balu Yapar, Bombera Joegale, the Disu Namasam Lahachons Shunila.
Sidin Sopalo Japtur Ming, Momadi, Nacheki Sondel, Bomb Lalitamisan message Nila. Gerdinalo chala nami jinda disu message nila ta khonu japchur bimi ki mongil ki japchur bimi di disu imdo chibe wachin kadim chibe ani japchur bimi ki jun di saktu bi asu bachin ani jun di ki tim gachira samro siju gachira samro songel dilo phentu bi ki tim da siju samzu junila nile bimi midelo tetinal tim da dochi kanya kemasu dochi be wachin ni khatule wachin za tuna dimi midisu tushu mena sinoi te tokbain se shunila ta tinna kongi tushu so wachin la 다 뒤주니 동 주스나 좀 집에 와진 때티나로 니레 드라마다 레샤 텐데 다 인데베서 지루라 다 다르기 니레디 때 뉴정 비 수라 고다 지고기 메시션이 다 니동 쪽에 좀 집에 와질라 다 니레기 온도 탄디시나 때 차테마테 bombe 총 생각하기 독관이라 다 디비올레 된 최den기 개갑드널라 니레디 구축지라 팀디 딘데베도 라렌타메스기 딘데베 탑다 와진 니레디 총급살레라 미세션이라
다또팀 딘디 메비나세 팀 딘디 옆으로 집에 와진 디 라렌 While
some said Election Act needs to be amended to fix accountability.
캡사데 뉴스집에 팀드수 넘서 지수베 데베게디게 베조디베 유 데타리 짝투기 태갈렙들로 가시레기 내셔널로 고디베 도들로 짝투데 되어이비기 녜레 베디 야수디베루라 딜루 니 팀드 충구시베 게마수베 안에 베보들로 데 팀니 다 팀마수베기 데 나와체 가지루 샤이스 슈니라 녜레 까담 헨소디 데 딘디베기 가스이 데 다마티 니바서들로 자토 헨소코라 베루다 데랑가 징겨워 소데 숨 dom디베 데 남로 니동 주스기 자투나로 밀레베미 미데서 레레 진도베 데 담타고데 남세메 니테기야사
다 대리 이 자투디고 흡다 다 시든 촉방이 데다 니 차라기 카툴레 데다 미기 통 라기 순베비기 네든 녜레기 톨레 데 카지 데치 주인 세슈니라 루게 컴날로 다 안수기 티가 흡다 데다 마지 자투기 갑로디 땡엘레 까담 헨소에 데티나 자마토니 메베 데다 헤말라라 테베 조디도 the Indira Bestiro, that Zatu Judu Gomidi Dusashle, that Ninalo, Nelekadam Hensoda, Zatul Hensogi, Kona, Chirubi Tolebe, Dundu Bunatuk Digi, Betapji, Meka Sewigi, Samchechi Shuni, Seshuni.
After prolonged discussion, the House decided to conduct an internal discussion to review on the proposed recommendations by the members. Sharab Sangmo for BBS News.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. Join us again next week for yet another edition of Bhutan This Week. Until then, this is Tanin Funso saying goodbye.